issued in just the past 24 hours. As
embarrassing. Embarrassing. 130? That's it? What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Like, you could do 100, you could do 130 an hour. You got to get these numbers up.
27 active and pending investigations and 130 arrests. Following 100 days since agitators have laid siege to that ICE facility. Portland FBI is posting this quote, "We continue to work with our partners to investigate instances of violence and destruction of property and hold those individuals accountable."
Sure.
And meanwhile, in Illinois, protests also persist there, guys, as federal agents announce the arrest of more than 1,000 illegal aliens as part of Operation Midway Blitz.
That's it? That's it? What are y'all doing?
Crackdown they launched earlier this month. Guys, back to you.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Like, this is embarrassing. They arrest 1,000 people. They need to arrest like 10,000 people. Portland's like 1/5 the population of Chicago. You guys scale down the numbers a bit. Any of those people, in my opinion, any of those people that are out there blocking the entrance, just immediately arrest them for obstructing traffic, obstructing justice. If they're pulling out, you're getting in the way of the car. You won't get out of the way of the car. You're impeding the officers. Immediately arrest them, charge them with a felony, and that's it. It's simple. Like, playing games with this kind of stuff is just going to hurt and make everything worse.
Anti-ICE protesters bringing violence to America's streets, but Democrats are refusing to help. Yeah, and we're talking about the chaos that is broken out in Portland, Oregon, and in Chicago. The split screen you see here, the absolute violent assaults and riots happening as the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, saying, I want to be clear, there is no need for military troops on the ground in the state of Illinois. Go out to Portland, Oregon,
I can't believe this fat retard got elected, but I guess that's what happens whenever it's probably a state full of also fat retards. It's shocking to me to see this happen.
You've got the full
and
weights
hopefully
of a
people will realize the error of their ways and not re-elect them.
Upgrade complete.
Exact thing you're seeing there, the same violence in the streets, more than 100 days of violent assaults.
Yeah, like, look at this. All these people, like, if you've got people that are standing in the way, getting in the way of the driveway, why aren't they just immediately all getting arrested?
Colony has been founded.
If they're trying to go in and out and there are people getting in front of the cars, why aren't they just instantly getting arrested? That's the question that I have. Who cares? Well, I mean, I do, because I think it's a problem. It's a huge issue.
ICE facility in
Maximum military orbit slots reached.
Obstruction? Yeah. First Amendment? You don't have a First Amendment to obstruct traffic. That's not true. Where is that? That's not in the Constitution. What are you talking about?
Is not the president's war-torn fantasy.
Can we still
our city
turn the tide
is
in
not
our favor?
ravaged, and there's no rebellion. Joining us now, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Madam Secretary, we just showed our viewers exactly the reality of what's playing out, and then the rhetoric of the Democratic leaders, and it seems to tell two different stories.
Yes, I've encouraged the governor.
With all the peaceful anti-ICE marches that occur throughout the U.S., why does Fox only focus on a few violent incidents? I'm sure you know the obvious answer.
Planet item complete.
Because the majority of the peaceful ones that are happening aren't actually peaceful. Whenever I see the peaceful protests that are happening, the majority of them are people still shutting down roads by threat of force. And also, the reason why is that it's not newsworthy. It's not a problem. Nobody has an issue with people that dislike ICE or dislike, or want to protest against ICE. That's not a problem. Like, that's their First Amendment right. Why would somebody write a story and talk about the fact that some of the people aren't violent? Because the real issue is the violent people that are doing it. Right? I mean, like, yeah, protest like a normal person. Like, that's fine.
And of Illinois, and that Attorney General should go down and spend some time with our ICE officers and with our Border Patrol officers.
Your peaceful is not my peaceful.
Because these individuals are shouting.
You can't just, bro, how the fuck are you supposed to protest? You can't just stay there and yell without doing anything. No one will actually care if you don't fucking do shit. Well, in my opinion, I think if you do shit, they should arrest you violently and then put you in jail. So if your idea of protesting is being violent and doing shit, then I think you should go to jail. Like you, and also, like, by the way, just because you don't have the right to have your voice heard and be listened to. Nobody has that right. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean that everybody else has to accommodate that. And so you're creating this false dichotomy with either I get my way or it's not fair. Well, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you don't deserve to get your way because there was an election that happened and the election didn't go the way you wanted it to?
Destroyed in battle.
So it's like you're building this off of the premise that the solution to the problem is that you get your way.
Let's make some martyrs.
What about January 6th?
You don't have to tell us twice. I don't like our odds.
What?
But we gotta try.
It was
we'll
bad.
Destroy every last one of them.
Duh.
Our fleet is under attack.
The strength of the coalition. Let's make some martyrs. Bad. Eradicate those filthy rats.
Why would you even bring that up?
Destroy every last one of them.
An Allied capital ship has been destroyed.
Their families,
Shields down.
Hands on them, and acts of violence are occurring on a regular basis. So they're just sitting far away in safe facilities. Some of them are protected detail, which is a very different situation than trying to clean up the streets and protect the families and the victims of these criminals that have been roaming for far too long.
So during the break, you told us that there are actually some individual agents who have been identified and have bounties placed on their heads. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had a really strange incident yesterday where we had a caravan of 10 different vehicles that were following our Border Patrol agents and officers that were out there on the streets of Chicago. And they had followed them and gotten them cornered, pinned them down. And then our agents, when getting out of their cars, they tried to run them over and had semi-automatic handguns on them to where our agents had to protect themselves.
Why aren't they dead?
Fired, and an individual ended up in the hospital that was attacking these officers. Very dangerous situation. And then in that situation,
so you're telling me out of 10 cars, only one of them ended up in the hospital? You need to teach these people how to shoot. That's embarrassing.
Let's make some martyrs.
Like, it really is fucking embarrassing. What is going on here?
Our shields are down. Eradicate those filthy rats.
I'm sorry, but like if you're trying to run over police officers, you shouldn't be in the hospital. You should be in the morgue. What is this?
We're going down.
Individual had threatened them previously and had told them that they all needed to go down and shouted expletives at them. So our intelligence indicates that these people are organized. They're getting more and more people on their team as far as attacking officers, and they're making plans to ambush.
And so why aren't you, if they're making plans to ambush and they're doing all this stuff, why aren't you able to preemptively arrest them and figure out what they're going to do?
I put the laughter
like really, I mean, it's embarrassing.
Armor's been breached.
And to kill them. We have specific officers and agents that have bounties that have been put out on their heads. It's been $2,000 to kidnap them, $10,000 to kill them. They've put pictures. They've sent them between their networks, and it's an extremely dangerous situation and unprecedented. So we've put protective detail around those individuals, changed some of our operations.
And this is the reason, by the way, they want the ICE agents to be unmasked.
Logistics
See,
upgrade
a lot of these people they're saying it in a way
destroyed.
that is like, oh, well, we care about civil liberties, civil rights. This is a lie. The reason why they want ICE agents to be unmasked is so they can terrorize them and their family. That's the real reason why they want to do it. Reddit is their network. Yeah, and Trump is as soft as baby food. I agree with you. I do. This is one of the reasons why I didn't vote for Trump, by the way. I don't think that he is... you're sending in the National Guard and like you're arresting like 100 people. This is pathetic. Like, I want someone that is like at least 3 or 4 times, like 1 or 2 more orders of magnitude, more extreme and more draconian. That's what I want. And whenever that person runs, then maybe I'll vote for them.
An Allied capital ship has been destroyed.
Eradicate
Keep our officers
filthy
The
rats.
Purge?
Let's
Maybe.
make some martyrs. We're falling
Make no
apart
mistake,
here.
this isn't just
Need
about
immediate
protesting free speech or that they don't like that people out here are upholding the law of our country. They're actually going out there and saying, kill these people and we'll give you this much money
Civilian
to do
structure
it.
complete.
Okay, so if
An
this is the
Allied
case,
capital
why
ship
aren't
has
you
been
going after the
destroyed.
people that are doing
Logistics
this?
upgrade complete.
Like, I
put
mean,
the laughter
yeah, what
in
is this?
slaughter. Code Red.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, so if this is
An
a problem,
Allied
like,
capital
I mean,
ship
maybe
has
it's
been
on Signal,
destroyed.
it's harder for you to figure out who's doing it. You're not able to figure this out at all?
Like bringing
It's
a
crazy.
gun to
You
a
don't think it's
knife
ridiculous
fight.
government agents having that identity hidden while carrying out government tasks? What stops goons from doing the same thing? Nothing.
An
But
Allied
I think that
capital
the
ship has
reason
been
why it's
destroyed.
happening is very, yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all. It's the same thing like whenever they do a drug bust. Whenever they do drug busts or any sort of undercover
shields are down,
operation, a lot
Commander.
of police officers also cover their face in order to avoid retaliation from drug cartels or any other form of violent networks. This is very common. It's obvious why they would do this, and this should be treated the exact same way. All the Mexican police are masked too? Yeah, of course, and then that's the reason why. They do it. The criminals usually cover their face, of course.
Cremation.
Our ally has completed
me a second,
construction
sorry
of a
about that.
Titan.
How in the... They crippled
Secretary,
us.
I want to stay on the boundaries.
Shields
Who's
down.
issuing
You got the full
bounties?
weight
I know
of
that
a
you guys are looking
starbase
into
at your
groups like
disposal.
Antifa. Is it linked to
Times
that,
of
or
war are
who's issuing
upon us.
these bounties? What do we know right
Civilian
now?
structure complete.
Weapons
Well, I'm going to be
at
careful what I
ready.
say because we have
No
investigations going on and these threats are out there. So I'm not going to give you
Defense
specific
upgrade
officers,
complete.
although they have been
The item is
targeted
ready.
towards specific officers and
Allied capital
released
ship
their
has been
phone numbers
destroyed.
or released their
All packed
pictures.
up and ready
but
to
it is
go.
gangs,
An Allied
it is
capital
cartel
ship has been
members,
destroyed.
and
So
known
be it.
terrorist organizations. So
I don't believe her.
Good day,
I don't
Commander.
believe her.
Yes,
I
Commander.
don't think the
at
cartel
once.
members are putting out hits on ICE
Easily
agents.
done.
That's retarded.
Your orders.
Why would they do that? They don't even kill people that are
Good
in
day,
their country.
Commander. That's more like it.
No,
Our
I think
shields
she's
are down,
lying.
Commander.
I think she's lying or their intel is wrong.
Shields down, Commander.
Cartel isn't
What
dumb?
now?
Yeah, it's stupid. Why would they risk that? Like, you've got to think about it like this. If you are part of one of these cartels, you have effectively gone through
Your orders.
like 10 levels of criminal natural selection. Do you
Good
really
day,
think that they're going to be
Commander.
putting out public
Yes,
bounties
Commander,
on ICE
at once.
agents for like
Ready for
enforcing the law
battle.
in Chicago?
Easily done.
Fuck no, that's not going to
No
happen.
armor!
Especially for only
Your
$10,000.
Ready for battle. That's
It's
more like
retarded.
it. Comlink active.
terrorist
We're falling
organizations
apart
as
here.
deemed by the
Need
president, but
immediate
also ones
assistance.
that we have known
Ready for
for many,
battle.
many years.
Can we
Why
still
wouldn't
turn
they?
the
Because
tide
it
in
would
our
attract
favor?
attention to their
Ready
business.
to pack a punch. Times
The
of
guys
war
running the
are upon
cartels
us.
are not stupid.
Comlink active.
This is like a big misunderstanding that a lot of people have. The people that are
Executing
running
orders.
these
One of
different
our enemies
terrorist
has
networks
finished a
and these
Titan.
cartels
Our
are
cannon
not
is
stupid or
itching for a
uneducated.
target.
They are very smart, they're prudent, they're business people, and they know what they're doing. Many of them are educated. They're college-educated people. And if they're
The
not
item is
college-educated,
ready.
they've had 30,
You don't have to
50,
tell
well,
us
not 50,
twice.
20 years
Can I do
experience
out?
doing this work.
This won't be so
They're
easy.
not going to try to aggro
Shields
the
down,
boss.
Commander. What now?
Why would they
Let's
do that?
show 'em what we're
If you can
made
farm
of.
trash mobs
Aye.
and get a bunch of money,
Weapons
why would you
at ready.
aggro the boss?
Let's show 'em what we're made of.
They're not
Your
stupid.
orders. So
Like, you think
be
they're
it.
going to go out and directly
Defense
try to
upgrade
attack the
complete.
federal government of the United
No
States?
armor.
Huge disagree, bro. I'm just saying,
We're
like,
falling
yeah,
apart here.
that's
Need
insane. Risking $1
immediate
million
assistance.
revenue for $10,000. Yeah, exactly. Cartel put a hit
An
on
Allied
YouTubers. It's not
capital
beneath
ship
them to
has
do
been
this. Yeah,
destroyed.
because the YouTubers are talking shit directly about the leaders of the cartel. That's totally fucking
Military
different.
structure complete.
That's a totally different
Yeah,
thing
we're
than
going
random
down.
agents arresting people in a state in the United States.
Times
It's a completely
of
different
war
thing.
are upon us.
They are
Shields down,
making sure
Commander.
that
What
they know
now?
which officers are out there and being
You've
extremely
made a wise
effective, and they want to
acquisition.
take them down.
The item is complete.
Because they want to try to
Entering
stop the
space,
operations that are
space.
going that
No
are
armor.
keeping them from making money off their criminal networks.
Do you have any evidence that those same cartels are actually helping fund some of the protests themselves in terms of turning people out?
Uh-huh.
Well, we've been
Like
spending a lot of
bringing a
time
gun
working as a
to
whole
a
of government
knife fight.
approach, and so
We're
talked to Scott
crippled.
DeSent about this
Time
last
to
night, and
bring
he's
the
really helping
thunder.
us dig into
We're
the
going
funding
down,
of these
Commander.
The question, wouldn't the
Ready
turf have
for
provoked them? Totally
battle.
different story. Yeah, he
Your
shouldn't have been
orders.
doing that.
Shields
Don't
down.
poke the bear.
Our fleet is under attack.
Yeah, he was fucking with them constantly, and they killed him. Yeah, duh. You shouldn't have done it.
Where they're getting their money. You know, when you're down there with these protesters and you're looking at them and interacting with them. I was in Chicago just 2 days ago watching these protesters and our officers engage with them. All the protesters are wearing the same gas masks. They're carrying the same kind of signs. Many of them were printed with the same font. They look like they came from the same company. To be that organized and have the same equipment to push back on law and order. You know that somebody is funding them and organizing them and that they're being paid. What would all these individuals be doing and how are they affording their groceries?
It's embarrassing that the government can't figure this out. I find this to be absolutely
Scouts have found a
embarrassing.
colonizable planet.
This should be a complete disgrace to anybody who is, in my opinion, like if I had voted for Trump, I would be so mad right now. I would be so mad that they have not gone so much harder on this. You think it's a private Discord or a subreddit or both? I think it's probably a number of things. I think they're probably using Telegram, Signal, Discord, Facebook, and I think also there's probably interplay between the two different ones that they use where they transmit their usernames, and then that's probably the point of connection that you can find and then try to subpoena ISPs, find out their information, and then go after the people that live there.
Military structure
that's basically what you should probably do, right? Probably Telegram, yeah. But like usually people are doing this, game chats, etc. Yes. You also use TikTok? Yeah.
Their homes, when they're down on the street protesting at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Military structure
spending all
complete.
day there just screaming horrible things at law enforcement, putting their hands on them and violating our laws.
What's, for the life of me, I can't understand, Madam Secretary.
Why you can't figure it out?
Just weeks ago here on this
Research
couch, I
rate
asked you
upgrade
how concerned
complete.
you were that
Military
one of your
structure
agents
complete.
could be killed. In that time, since I asked you that, we have had bullets fired into the Dallas facility there.
I think that there's a probability that they're waiting and they want one of the agents to get killed because that will galvanize and make the public support them being even more aggressive with, their enforcement. And that's a possibility that they're waiting for effectively a unwilling martyr in order to push this all the way. Because if an agent gets killed, right, a Border Patrol agent gets killed, that will be a green light for them to just kind of go all the way. That's fucked. Well, I'm just saying that's that might be what they're doing. That's what would make sense to me. That's the only way, other than them just being retarded, that any of this makes sense.
Free cremation.
Two illegal
Another
aliens
faction has
were in
claimed the
custody
metal
with
market.
your agents running into the fire to try and protect those detainees. And just 2 days after that incident on the streets of Chicago, there in Broadview,
Like Poland? Yeah, kind of.
where this is happening, you have people
Military
chanting,
structure
shoot
complete.
ICE, kill ICE. But for the life of me,
Yes.
I cannot understand why Democrat politicians...
No. What a pussy. Ask her right now to her fucking face. Like, it's not to her face because it's on camera. But ask her right now, why is it that the people that are saying to kill ICE and to shoot them are not in custody being apprehended at this very moment? What is the justification that people that are openly calling for the murder of federal agents are not immediately charged with a crime? Why is that? Why has that not already happened?
A minor faction has been
And local
convinced to
leaders like
disrupt
Chicago's
our
Mayor Brandon
plans.
Johnson
This
is
enemy will
literally...
Free speech,
pay.
dumbass? That's not free speech.
Bring the thunder.
You can't do that. First Amendment from judges. You can't. You cannot go out
Military structure
and
complete.
advocate to kill federal agents. There are limits on free speech. That's a big limit.
Our shields are down, Commander. Time to
Like, what are we
bring the
doing?
thunder.
calling you essentially a liar when you make
Threats
the
of violence
case
are good, they're not.
that your ICE agents are being attacked. Here's a little bit of what he had to say. I want to get your response.
Our planet is
She
under
has no
siege.
idea what she's talking about.
Our planet is under siege.
You know, the Trump administration, they are completely
Time
delusional.
to
This
right
guy's approval rating like 3 or 7%.
Hostile
Everybody
forces have
hates this
arrived.
You think they don't want to harm before midterms? I think they're harming themselves by not doing anything. I think that whenever a lot of voters that voted for Trump to be extreme, like basically, I think that there was one of the reasons why I think some people are unhappy with the way that Trump has handled things isn't because he's done too much. It's because he hasn't done enough. And I think that the fact that he hasn't, he right now has a total mandate, right? All three branches of government are on his side. He can pretty much do whatever he wants to do. And why aren't you doing it then? Because it is a possibility that during the midterms, he could lose the Senate or he could lose the House. It's more likely to lose the House. So why aren't you immediately removing illegal aliens from the census? Why aren't you immediately trying to arrest all these people, as much as possible? And so that's really what the problem is. That's the main issue that I have. Was done Supreme Court that free speech loses First Amendment protection if it's directed at inciting illegal activity and is likely to produce it. Advocating for such acts could also violate federal laws like 18 U.S.C., which criminalizes threats against federal officers. Wow, what a shocking surprise that advocating for and telling people to kill federal government officers is actually against the law. Who could have ever predicted this? And so, yes, obviously that's the case. He started off strong, now he's gone flaccid. He has. He's gone completely flaccid. And I find it to be embarrassing. I do. I'm very frustrated.
Shields down!
And what they are promulgating in are not just unconstitutional
research rig upgrade complete.
But they're dangerous and reckless, and it's antithetical to who we are as a nation.
Eradicate those filthy rats.
Secretary, your reaction.
I put the laughter in slaughter. We'll
let's remember that mayor has a less than 6% approval rating in Chicago. So the people who live there think he might be doing.
Everybody thinks that guy's an idiot.
Ready for battle.
That man is a failure. He's a failure for his people. And
she's like, he's a retard. What do you expect?
That have happened in his city. So we're going to keep doing our work every day when we're there doing our operations. When I'm there with them, people on the streets are clapping as we do our work. They're clapping as these officers are arresting these bad criminals. And out of the 12 that we arrested during the short period of time I was there, 6 of them had criminal records in their backgrounds that the state had arrested them and just turned them loose on the street again for assault, for weapons possession, for robbery. Those individuals now are off the streets thanks to President Trump, not thanks to that mayor who's delusional at best.
So do you tie a direct line between the rhetoric from people like Mayor Johnson and other Democrats to the actual increase in assaults and the threat of violence?
Shields down.
Oh, absolutely. He's giving them air cover. He's giving them air cover so they can go
Perhaps he doesn't want to escalate it too much after Charlie's assassination. I don't think that's it. He's playing it safe before midterms. Most of his voters are George Floyd conservatives and will be emotionally manipulated by federal agents clamping down. I think that's probably true to an extent. I mean, sure, some people will be, but I think that there is, and also,
we're falling apart here.
like, here's a good example, right? Is El Salvador is a great example of this. Is that whenever you actually do have a degree of peace and prosperity, most people will support that and be okay with it. So in order to make people happy, you should be trying to get there as fast as possible. And in order to do that, you have to make decisions that are sometimes aggressive. Or Occam's razor is a moronic leftist. Well, I just don't think he's doing enough. That's really what it comes down to for me.
Eradicate those filthy rats.
A soldier, you threw a CS gas canister against the law, use chemical weapons as ground population. Well, maybe you should just use the gun. I don't know. I think anybody who's going around and trying to hit police officers or anything like that, that's just, there's no reason why anybody should be supporting that.
Times of war.
No, I think, yeah, that base. No, I think, again, I've said this before. I think they should use actual ammo, and if anybody throws a rock or tries to harm one of the police officers, I think they should just use deadly force to stop it from happening. There's no reason why anybody should be putting up with that, and it's disgusting, honestly, that there's so many people that are okay with it.
All packed up and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Customizing attack plan.
Yeah, of course.
Your orders.
Set an example.
Ready for battle.
Out and keep committing crimes. It's
That'll
wrong.
only increase the riots. You'd really be surprised how fast it stops after more than 1 or 2 people get shot for being violent.
Good day,
It would stop immediately.
No armor!
Most people don't want to die.
No
there should be.
That's the reason, by the way, none of this happens in Florida. Because in Florida, this is the rule over there. If you are in the street, they might run you over. If you are violent towards a police officer, they might kill you. And so why hasn't it increased the riots in Florida? Because people don't want to die. That's the reason why.
Customizing
Consequences for that and for leaders that stand up and knowingly lie about the situation on the ground. This is a war zone. This city is a war zone, and he's lying so that criminals can go in there and destroy people's lives. You know, those individuals that live there are waking up to it. They understand that where we have gone, we've made it much more free. People are much safer.
TOS? Well, I advocate for self-defense only. I would never advocate for shooting people without, being hit or being violently attacked. I don't think they should just go out and shoot people randomly. Of course not. It's crazy. But if you have people going out and being violent and throwing rocks at you, you absolutely should.
We've got 1,000
it's just self-defense.
on the streets of Chicago, just because we've been there, not because of his help. And in fact, they don't even let our ICE officers and our Border Patrol officers use restrooms in facilities. Those men and women were telling us that they have to figure out even where they can go sit down for 5 minutes and have lunch or to use a restroom throughout their shift and their break. So they've made it a very difficult situation, but what I was so encouraged by was these officers love their jobs. They love their jobs. They're so excited that they get to go out there and serve our country, and they see normal everyday people going to work.
Of course they like doing it.
I don't know if you saw those videos of
it's their job.
Those folks down there chanting USA and holding signs encouraging ICE. If more Americans would do that, if you were to go down there and show them when you have some spare time, it really is encouraging to our officers.
How are they holding up?
The enemy is
Secretary?
nearby.
I mean, it's got to be hard to be called
They're doing
these names.
good.
Yeah.
I asked them that too, because that's what I worry about. You get people yelling and screaming stuff in your face all day long. You know, you kind of lose perspective on where you are or what you're doing. But
yeah, it's crazy that people put up with that. I mean, really, no free speech, can't protest. Throwing a rock at somebody isn't free speech.
So encouraged. Many of these
it's just not.
Make it a good one.
Sorry.
Our shields are down, Commander.
They got called up to go to LA just 24 hours before they had to pack and get there to help bring some law and order to Los Angeles. So they went from LA then to Chicago. So they've been gone for months, living in different hotels or situations there to bring safety and security, and they don't know necessarily when they'll go home to their families, but they said we are all in for this because we know our families don't have a chance unless President Trump cleans up our streets and cleans up, the safety.
I think there's like an existential problem where you just have a huge contingency of the population that think that they can violently oppress and terrorize everybody else in order to get their way. And I think that the big issue is that this isn't an elected government group or anything like this. It's been decided by the people. These are people that are going out there and just deciding that they're going to do it on their own.
No armor!
Security of our schools and our
communities. Throwing rocks is speech. They don't really think that. They're just saying that because it justifies what they want to do. They don't really think that. None of them really think any of this stuff. You've got to keep that in mind. This is very important for you to remember, is that all of the people that are advocating for and saying this stuff, trying to say, oh, but what about this, what about that? None of that is logical. It's not about being logic or anything like that. They're just trying to justify why it's okay for them to be violent, and they're trying to run a smokescreen for people that are violent for causes that they agree with. That's ultimately what the goal is. So don't try to look for logical consistency, because that's not the basis of their logic. The basis of their logic is making a power play and then trying to subvert your own logic and use your values against you, such as freedom of speech or something similar to that, and then make you allow them to be violent to you. That's what their goal is.
Upon us. Where do you need me?
Country and what it can be.
It's never been about freedom of speech. It's never been about officer accountability. It's always been about making and creating a situation where they can control the narrative and they can do what they want to do. That's what the goal is. never fall into the trap of assuming that they have good intentions. They don't.
To see it get as dangerous in so many cities like it did in 2020 across the country when it was out of control, and we had the kind of violence that came from some of these same organizations.
Well, Secretary Noem, thank you so much for joining us this morning and breaking all that down. And
reporting in.
You and your agents are in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There it is. Yeah, I mean, I think this is pathetic and embarrassing, and she should be ashamed of herself that every single person that's in front of these buildings throwing fucking smoke bombs at them isn't arrested and put in jail in some sort of holding facility like Alligator Alcatraz. They should have all these people getting charged with felonies. They should be using whatever that they need to do in order to make this stop happening. Any of these people that are getting in front of the cars need to be instantly arrested. The fact that they're not doing that is embarrassing. It's embarrassing, it's pathetic, and it's a disgrace. And the more that they don't do it, every day that it continues to bleed, it gets worse. You have to stop the bleeding. And the bleeding is the respect and the authority of the federal government and the mandate that Trump has to enact what seems to be the public's will, which is getting rid of illegal aliens and violent people that are trying to stop the government from doing their job.
Good day, Commander.
So every day that they don't do that, they are bleeding out more support and more confidence in their ability to execute on that behavior. I think it's very problematic. Don't you think it could radicalize even more people? I think that it probably will, but it will radicalize people in both directions. And I think that it also is demoralizing for people like me that want to see genuine, actual, real change whenever nothing really happens.
Reporting in.
So you're right that it will radicalize more of them. And if more of them want to go out there and get arrested, that sounds great. Okay, then arrest them too. And so why do you think they're not arresting anyone? Because they're morons.
Ready to pack a punch.
That's the reason why they're morons. And I don't really know why, if you want me to be honest. I actually don't know why. And it makes me very frustrated that this is the case. What makes you think they want to stop it to begin with? I mean, so you're thinking they're trying to just make it get worse or allow it to get worse in order to, you know, make people want to have more control? I mean, maybe you're right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would not completely put it past them. They're scared of the optics.
Heavy battlecruiser online. Weapon modules
I'm going to be real. Like, anybody scared of optics or scared of anything like that is a moron. Because the reality is that you can't control the optics around people that lie about you. See, the entire premise of optics is that you're basing things off of facts and the way that people see things. But if you're basing things off of lies, then you've automatically lost the optics game categorically. And that's the big issue, is that playing anything off of optics is a huge mistake.
Of a starbase at your disposal. How? They're through our armor. Can I do out?
Your orders.
Item complete,
This is
Commander.
crazy how this just keeps going on, man. Really, this is nuts. How does this keep happening?
Federal officials have not disclosed exact numbers, but there is broad reporting about migrants being swept up during recent immigration raids.
It is a scary proposition for tens of thousands of hard-working migrants, especially those.
So, as ICE agents
hard-working oh my God.
New York City looking for dangerous individuals and gang members, they can wind up at pretty much any business. And while an alleged raid at one of Amazon's warehouses was probably shocking to everyone inside, immigrant advocates are outraged, saying workplace raids have nothing to do with deporting the high-level criminals ICE says they're after. Unless, of course, those criminals are doing whatever they can to hide in plain sight.
Exclusive video of federal agents swarming into a Washington Heights building. Ow.
How many of y'all have kids? I'm just curious. Here's what I need you to do.
Okay.
When I tell you this story, think about your kids.
Orders.
Think about your child coming home from a night out with their friends.
All right.
Laying down, going to sleep.
Military structure complete.
Feeling somebody come in the room and wake them. And drag her out of bed, naked, forced on her knees, with her hands over her head.
Oh, God.
Begging for her life. begging for her hero, her father, me. That couldn't be there.
Modular components reconfigured.
She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds.
If it's a last stand, let's make it a good one. Staying evasive.
Shields down.
They shot her randomly?
The enemy is
Why?
nearby.
Because Alexander Devontae Dickey, who was arrested 39 goddamn times.
Let's make it a good one.
Within crippled.
I hope we picked the right loadout. Let's leave them in our wake.
39 arrests. What the fuck is going on? Really? This is insane. How does this happen? Why do we live like this? And this is what remember what I was saying before about the 2%? Did you know that the majority of the violent crime that's committed in this country is by only 1% of the population?
Nearby. We can still outrun them.
It's like 67 or something like that % of all violent crime as a just like a fucking just overall number is committed by just simply 1% of the population.
Let them outmaneuver us.
We're going down.
25 felonies was on the street.
Within crippled. And
how about that?
Not so good.
How good are we doing for our family? How good are you doing for your kids? He should have been in jail for over days.
To the shot her randomly?
Naked and wake them. And drag her out of bed. Naked.
Fight or
forced
flight?
on her knees. With her hands over her
We
head.
can still outrun them.
Oh, God.
Begging for her life.
Calculations
begging
complete.
for her hero.
Commencing jump.
One
her
of our
father,
enemies has finished a
me.
Titan. Your
That
orders.
couldn't be there.
The oxygen starts
She was
now.
5'3".
Don't be
She weighed
down.
115 pounds.
Yeah.
Bang! Dead.
They
Gone.
shot her randomly? The
Why?
fuck are that for?
Because Alexander Devontae Dickey, who was arrested 39 goddamn times.
We'll see it done. And
Of course.
Hero, naked. And drag her out of bed. Naked. Forced on her knees. With her hands over her head.
Oh, God.
Begging for her life. Begging for her hero.
Our
her
cannon
father,
is itching for a
me.
target.
That couldn't be there. She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds.
Yeah.
how?
Bang!
They're through our armor. So
dead.
They
Gone.
shot
Life. Begging for her hero, her father, me. That couldn't be there. She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds.
Yeah.
Bang!
Yeah.
Bang! Dead.
They
Gone.
shot her randomly? The
Why?
fuck are that for?
Because Alexander
our
Devontae
planet
Dickey,
is under siege.
who was arrested
We'll see it
39
done.
goddamn times.
Of course. 39 arrests.
We're going down.
What the fuck is going on? Really? This is insane. How does this happen? Why do we live like this? And this is what remember what I was saying before about the 2%? Did you know that the majority of the violent crime that's committed in this country is by only 1% of the population? It's like 67 or something like that % of all violent crime as a just like a fucking just overall number is committed by just simply 1% of the population.
25
Our cannon is itching
felonies
for a target. So
was
be it.
on the street. How about
We'll
that?
destroy every
Not so
last
good.
one of
How
them.
good are we doing
You
for
don't
our
have to tell
family?
us twice.
How good are you doing for
I
your
put
kids?
the laughter in slaughter.
Our fleet
He
is
should
under
have been
attack.
in jail for over 140 years for all the crimes he committed. You know how much
So
time he
be it.
spent in prison?
An Allied capital ship has been
A
destroyed.
little over 600
Let's make
days
some
in 10
martyrs.
years. He's only
We'll
30.
see it
right.
done.
years old. He was committing 2.6.
Wait, he's 30 years old, and he's been arrested 39 times?
An Allied capital ship has been destroyed.
Oh my God!
Those filthy rats. We'll destroy every
last
one of them.
A year.
Shields down.
Since he was 15 years old.
What the fuck's wrong with the judiciary? The problem is that people prioritize people changing. The priority in the justice system in a lot of cases is about the best interest of the criminal rather than the best interest of society. And I think that this inversion of morality and ethics has led to releasing a lot of these career criminals and violent people into the wild again, and then allowing everybody else to be their victims because of some form of performative empathy. Like, oh, well, people can change. People can change. Well, what if they don't? Who bears the consequences when a person like this doesn't change? Well, his daughter bears the consequences and not them. And so that's really where the problem is. It's this emotional inversion of values. And I think that people like this man speaking out about this is actually incredibly important because it goes to show the selfishness of this type of empathy. It's narcissistic performative empathy that basically puts other people in danger in order for these people to feel like they're doing the right thing.
Nobody could figure out that he could be rehabilitated. Well, you'd have to put him in prison to see if he could be rehabilitated.
Well, he's 39 arrests. He can't be rehabilitated. Like, I mean, if you've been arrested 39 times, you can't be rehabilitated. It's just that simple. And also, like, in the instance that you can, you have to do what's best for most people. And it's just simply not safe and not best for most people to have, like, any jury and any judge. If there's anybody like this, if you're saying, oh, well, what if they change? Do you want this person to live next door to you? Probably not. And that's the problem. Needs to get 40? Yeah, these people should be put out of their misery. Well, I think there's work camps, right?
Isn't that the idea?
Has been destroyed.
Stay sharp.
But no, my daughter wanted to be a teacher. She found...
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 39 times, call me Joe Biden.
We'll destroy every
It's funny, it's not Biden's fault because this has been going on for a while.
An Allied capital ship has been destroyed.
He figured it out. 2 weeks before she was executed. And I haven't heard a damn word from Byron Gibson in South Carolina. Not one word. 4 months, no communication.
We're underway.
His biggest concern was that he was pissed off about my interview and how I made him look on the Fox News channel with Trey Gowdy. How pathetic is that?
Well, I think that's very revealing. The thing that they truly care about is the optics. It's not actually about keeping people safe or doing good or using your position in order to make the world a better place. It's about using your position to advance your own personal goals and your own personal, obligations and, intentions, and then to co-opt that and push it in that direction. That's really what it's about for them. It's all about how things make them feel and how things look. Both two completely, like, amorphous, fake realities that they want everybody else to live in.
We're letting our 22-year-old...
How can they stay in power? The reason why they stay in power is because you don't vote them out. Like, this is my policy, is that I will vote for whoever will be the most draconian, the most aggressive, and the most brutal on these people. That should be one of the main policies to go with. And if you do that, then it goes away. But the problem is that a lot of voters are afraid of doing that because it sounds bad. And that goes back to why I said that, a lot of people are controlled with emotion. Dehumanize them? Well, they're not humans, really. I mean, you think about this. If a person can't control themselves 39 times and they get arrested, what's the difference really between them and a dog? You can train a dog better than that. So whenever you really think about it, these people aren't animals because at least you can train animals. They're worse than animals.
How can I be of service?
You're right that I don't really treat them.
Our planet is under siege.
No, absolutely not. Because in doing so, I put other people in danger.
Decisive action.
Defense upgrade complete.
Visiting friends is all she ever wanted to do was visit friends.
Hostile forces have arrived.
And she literally was executed while on her
Military
knees.
structure complete.
Yeah, it's just good.
Begging for her life.
That did this is just a psycho.
Military structure complete.
Criminal, right?
An allied colony has been lost.
Her name's Logan Federico, not Irina.
It's time to take the fight back to the enemy. Heavy
And you
battlecruiser
will not
online.
forget her.
Weapon
I
modules
promise you.
awaiting
You will be
selection.
sick
I am complete,
and tired
Commander.
of my face
We're falling
and my
apart here.
voice
Need immediate
until
assistance.
this gets fixed. I will fight until my last breath for my daughter.
Times of war are upon us.
You need to fight for the rest of our children.
He's right.
The rest of the innocent.
Absolutely.
And stop protecting the people that keep taking them from us.
Time to
Please.
clear the sector.
True.
You have the power. We put you in the
going
power
down,
to do what you
Commander.
have to do.
We'll be
And it's
there
more
in
important
no
for
time.
them to use their
Ready to
power
pack
to
a
make
punch.
themselves feel good
We're
and to have
crippled.
good optics
Looks like
than to
free
actually
target
keep their
practice.
constituents
Your
and the people
orders.
that they represent safe.
Military structure complete.
That's
You
what's
don't
more
have to tell
important
us
to them.
twice.
Hostile
We're
forces
asking
have
you,
arrived.
we're begging you all to stop this.
How can I be of service?
39 crimes in 10 years.
Executing
25
orders.
felonies.
Military structure complete.
Can anybody
Our
there
cannon
here
is
explain to
itching
me
for a
well, how
target.
possibly he
Ready
could be
to
on the
pack
street?
a punch.
Exactly.
Our shields are down,
How
Commander.
does this happen?
So be it.
Like, yeah,
Our
take me
shields are
through
down, Commander.
the
We're
last,
going
you know,
down,
probably
Commander.
15 years of this guy. How did this happen?
Military structure complete. One of our
Possibly
enemies
be
has
on the
finished
street.
a
How is it
Titan.
possible?
Outrageous.
Another
Crazy.
faction has claimed the metal
I
market.
could sit down in a room and I could
Hey,
explain
no
the whole
big, no
process
deal.
of how it failed, how South Carolina failed.
Times of war are
Okay?
upon us.
How lack of communication.
Entering phase
What
space.
y'all did, you woke up a beast and you
Yep.
pissed off the wrong
Yeah, but in
guy.
May?
Entering phase
why you just
Because
say
I'm
yes?
going to put
I
it
don't
out
know.
there. And I'm not going to be quiet until somebody helps. Logan
Defense
deserves
upgrade
to be
complete.
heard. Everyone on this panel
No,
deserves
people
to
are
be
saying, people are
Times
advocating,
of
oh, just go kill the
war
guy as a
upon us.
vigilante thing. Like,
An
no.
ally has
The-
lost a
killing somebody
starbase.
through vigilante
Our fleet is under
justice.
attack.
Like, I mean,
Military
I
structure
would,
complete.
if he did that, I'd want Trump to pardon him. But that being said, I also,
Our shields
like,
are
that's
down,
not a solution.
Commander.
Like,
Comlink
basically, whenever you have a
active.
factory that
We're
basically
crippled.
creates these people,
Our shields are down, Commander.
it's getting
Our
rid of one of the
cannon is
cookies that
itching
comes
for
out
a
of that
target.
factory doesn't stop the whole batch. You want to shut down the factory.
Our shields are
You want to stop the
compromised.
system. You want to stop the source of it happening rather
We're
than just
going
one
down,
instance of it
Commander.
happening.
Your orders.
Vigilantes
Times
bandit?
of
Yeah,
we will.
I don't believe in
upon
that.
us.
It's
Trust me.
An allied colony
My
has
daughter
been
laid
lost.
on the floor for 7
So be
hours
it.
Ugh.
before somebody in that house recognized that something was wrong.
Yeah, I bet.
You've made a wise acquisition.
And that career criminal,
Military
an hour
structure
later,
complete.
went on a spending spree with her debit card.
Yeah, he's playing
When
Grand
they
Theft
saw
Auto.
his face on a
Heavy
video,
battlecruiser
they didn't have to
online.
do a check.
Weapon modules
He was
awaiting
arrested so many
selection.
times
We'll
they
be
just
there in
Knew
no
who it
time.
was. Oh, it's Fred.
The item is
Yep.
complete.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
He was.
Good day, Commander.
It's one of the
I knew
regulars.
exactly where to go get him.
Just went to his house.
Pathetic.
It is.
Your orders.
Absolutely pathetic that I'm here today.
One new debris field.
Thank you for your
coming
time.
up.
Times of war are upon
Fucking
us.
based. Absolutely fucking unfathomably,
Our shields are down,
unbelievably, completely fucking based. I am so happy to see this, and I'm glad that people are finally waking up
Shields down.
to the side effects of this type of empathy. Let me go back over here. When an illegal alien goes to the emergency room, who's
Looks
paying
like
for it?
free
American.
target
What is
practice.
this?
Ready
And
to
it is
pack
an
a
undisputed
punch.
fact.
We'll
A
see
fact.
it done.
And it is an undisputed fact. A fact that under the Biden administration, illegal aliens were absolutely receiving taxpayer-funded healthcare
So
benefits.
be
In
it.
fact, in fiscal year 2024, Medicaid costs for emergency services for illegal immigrants skyrocketed
We'll see
by
it
142% from the previous year to
Entering phase
9.1 billion dollars. That's 9.1 billion taxpayer dollars that were
That's a lot
going
of
to
money.
emergency services for illegals. Between President Trump's last full fiscal year under his first administration and Joe Biden's last full fiscal year, Medicaid spending on emergency services for illegal immigrants nearly tripled. There was an increase of 196% between 2020 and 2022.
Wow.
And I have a chart here for you.
That's a bad
I'm more than
one.
happy to email it.
You see how it goes
I'd also
up?
like to add, because some were asking dishonest questions yesterday about emergency rooms. In Southern California, according to healthcare professionals in 2023 under the Biden administration, Southern California's, quote, entire healthcare system was being bombarded with illegal immigrants and forcing American patients to endure longer wait times. In Denver, Colorado, the CEO of
Yeah, I've been to tons of emergency rooms, and there's people there. There's like a group of like 5 people there. None of them seem to speak English. Yeah, I mean, of course, maybe some of them are illegal aliens. Sorry, there's probably a pretty high probability of that. How do I know that? Because that's what we did when we didn't have any fucking money. So if you don't have any money, you go to the emergency room. Because they immediately see you, they don't ask for payment, you get instant service, and that's the way that poor people do things, right? It's going to the emergency room. I just think honestly, and I don't even know how this happens, because if you don't have identification, like every time I've had to check my parents in the past to the emergency room, like I had to sit up there and give them the insurance information and the you know, like identification card and everything. I don't know what you do if you just say like I don't have this. I have no idea.
Yes,
so
Commander,
yeah,
at
emergency room
once.
is supposed to be last resort.
That's more like
yeah.
it.
You never guess how much the illegal immigrants contribute to the economy each year? It's hard to say.
Active.
Denver Health stated that 8,000 illegal immigrants made 20,000 visits to the city's health system in 2023, leaving an uncompensated bill totaling over $10 million.
Oh my God.
So when an illegal alien goes to the emergency room, who's paying for it? The American taxpayer. The main safety net hospital in Denver had to turn away patients due to the massive influx of illegal immigrants into the community. And UC Health Hospitals in 2024 reported their system was under stress from an increasing number of migrants. As a result, according to the head of emergency departments and urgent cares across the hospital system, quote, access is impeded for everyone. These are healthcare professionals who dealt with this directly, and there's a lot more where that came from.
Well, it's obvious if you have a bunch of illegal aliens in an area, they're gonna, you know, take up services like this. I mean, obviously, even if you add in a bunch of people in general, that's what's going to happen. It's common sense, right? Which she finds out how many times I had to go to the emergency room whenever I was homeless. Hey, yo, I've been there before, not for myself, but actually I was. So there was a time I went to urgent care. I convinced myself that I had cancer. And so I went to the emergency room to have them check out some sort of, I don't know, bump on my leg, or maybe this was a blood clots thing. I forgot which one it was at this point. So I convinced myself of this. What kind? I think it was skin cancer, and then I thought I had a blood clot, etc. And so things, I'm a very anxious person. I'm a very, very high-strung, anxious person. And so I come in, and I look like me. And so they immediately are like, uh-oh, okay, what's wrong? Okay, so there's something, okay, so do you do drugs? Like, is this a drug thing? Like, what's going on here, right? And they don't really know what's happening with this. And so finally they realize, like, what the issue is, and they're like, okay, we get it now. All right, well, we're going to come and see you. And after they did a test on me to make sure I was fine and everything, they just said, okay, leave. Go back under the bridge. Go back, yep, go back to living next to the train. Nope, that's okay. You don't need to pay, you don't need to sign anything. Just get out of here. Just get out. And they just told me to leave. That was it. And you did? Yeah, I did. I was like, okay, all right, fine. Like, I mean, I didn't really do a whole lot. So, yeah, they're like, shoo, exactly. And because I looked like a fucking bum, bro. Exactly, yeah. And that's weird, too, because I look like you, and I think you cleaned yourself up a lot.
Self-destruct
initiated. You should have seen me that day, bro. Like, I was even more of a mess than I usually am. I'll say that. Or cut off his ear.
But Neil feels good. He's been promoted to head of Naughty Dog, and HBO launches The Last of Us TV series. Before it's released, Neil announces major changes to the story, with no input from Bruce Straley as far as anyone knows.
That's
for example,
convenient.
the Bill sequence works very well in the game because you're fighting the infected with Bill. I think if we had adapted that exactly as is for the show, maybe it's really dramatically would have been a lot less interesting than where we've ended up, which we changed it quite a bit.
His ex-fans are primed to hate it, but in the end, it's actually pretty good. In fact, HBO says it's one of their most popular shows that year. Neil becomes somewhat of a mainstream celebrity.
The strength of the coalition.
Game sales spike, and he finally feels like he has some people on his side. Until season 2.
It's crazy because
complete,
that's
Commander.
Exactly what happened with the game.
Of the coalition.
It's almost like if you tell a story, like this is a big fantasy that a lot of people that are in media believe, is that the average modern audience cares less about these social issues and different types of dynamics than gamers do. But the reality is that in fact it's the opposite.
Scouts have found a colonizable planet.
And you know, like online people are much more accepting and open-minded of things like non-traditional gender roles, non-heteronormative relationships, like all of the things that, you know, people complain about woke stuff with. There's a lot of like average Walmart Americans, and they just see that on the TV. They said, "Oh, this is weird. What's a? Oh shit! This is. Oh, I didn't watch this game. Okay, what's this?" And they're done. They don't even think about it. Yeah, if you push it right, like they're not even like. It's not like they're getting mad. They're not writing like a whole thing about it. They're just like, oh, this is weird. I'm not going to watch this. And that's what an average person, I think, does a lot. And I think that what these people believe is that average people, because they think that they're average, but they're not average. This is like a very unique viewpoint that they have. Average people are totally okay with this stuff, but they are absolutely not.
The item is ready.
People didn't like the second game in season. It has nothing to do with woke. It did in the game. People didn't like that Abby character because she had a non-female body, and they thought that it was a weird type of like representation. And I think that that definitely was a big reason why. Like, I didn't even play the game, and I know that. I mean, I'm just saying, like that is the reason. Like, it goes beyond that. No. But what I'm saying is that. You're right. You're right. Maybe it's not woke stuff. It's the story. Is what you guys are saying. You're right about that. But I'm saying also, whenever you're talking about putting these ideas out to the public dislikes them more than you imagine.
Our minds
Turns
are
out
not
fans
so
of the show who
easily
haven't played the games
swayed.
have no idea what's in store.
Yeah.
Item complete, Commander.
Guys, I
don't know what to do right now.
I don't
Your
think
orders.
soon.
And after Joel's big moment, public opinion shifts. IGN gives the episode their lowest rating in history.
The result is a competent, often thrilling hour of television,
The
but one that
item is
ultimately
ready.
underserves the larger story and the characters it forever changes.
Viewership starts to fall off, and the season finale sees a 55% drop from the first season.
You have to expect that some people would just switch off after that.
A minor faction has been convinced to disrupt our plans.
In December
This enemy
2024,
will pay.
fans finally get a brief
Our
glimpse
planet
of
is under
something.
It just keeps getting worse.
Let this be a lesson.
This time Neil
Next
has an
time,
executive
pay
producer role,
up.
but that doesn't make it void of controversy.
Bro, I saw that Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, literally had more dislikes than Concord.
Actress for Naughty Dog's upcoming game Intergalactic Heretic Prophet mocked gamers by sharing pro-DEI fan art. These are games that definitely are anti-
I love how this happens, and like what's really funny is that the current reality is that this game is underwater, and they have to they apparently are telling people at the studio not to go on the internet and not to talk about it or think about it. And then this game, they totally changed the way that Siri looked from the original video, or at least Siri looks. It's very hard to say where they changed it or not.
The item
but Siri
is ready.
looks totally different than the way she did from the original video, and she is 100% hotter. So like, this is literally an L and an L.
You don't have to tell us twice.
It'll get shadow dropped.
Have to be boycotted.
But Neil says not to worry, that this next game is going to deal with a much less controversial subject matter.
Oh, we made a game with The Last of Us 2. We made certain creative decisions. That got us a lot of hate. So the joke is like, you know what? Let's do something that people won't care as much about. Let's make a game about faith and religion.
Whether it's any good or not, we've
That's
yet to
funny.
see. But it's clear Neil's not taking his foot off the brake anytime soon.
I can respect a guy that's got his ideas, you know, and he has his creative vision and he wants to do it. But at the same time, I don't really think this is going to go anywhere. And I feel like, honestly, with a lot of studios, there's a video, give it a like. I've never actually watched one of this guy's videos, Sir W. And yeah, his 89,000 subscribers. This is a good video. And it's funny for me to see this, but I do think that Neil Druckmann has become like the fucking like he has become the spirit animal of every pretentious, annoying, woke theater kid, pretend, tormented artist, writer that just makes shitty stories that people don't like.
The item is ready.
I feel like this is the guy, right? The anti-Kojima, yeah, because everybody wants to be Kojima. And like this is like our, you know how like you know how like sometimes they have like a fucking store brand or something, like the Great Value. This is like our Great Value Kojima. And it's sad. And I think also there's a lot of people that write great stories, and they just don't do like all the self-aggrandizement. You know, like Shadowbringer's story.
Time to bring the thunder.
People
we'll see it done. They're cruising for a bruising.
So, like,
our cannon is itching for a target.
I'll be right back. Give me a minute.
Time to bring the thunder. Free cremation.
They're also hot.
Our fleet is under attack.
They're goth, and so they're really hot. That's it.
Look back at the 2000s, we really had everything. Dante and Devil May Cry, an absolute unit. GTA, Yakuza, Metal Gear, Chad of War, Uncharted, SOCOM. Then the Xbox was more shooter-focused. Halo, Call of Duty, Gears.
It was actually crazy. This is the fight against, I think her name is Minstrel, in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. It was crazy for me to play this game and realize how far we've fallen. I didn't realize how bad it was until I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and it was scary.
Brothers in Arms, Splinter Cell. Last year I made a video called The Pussification of Video Games, and
People got so mad about me watching that game. That video. They were so mad about that.
Consider this part 2 to that video.
Yeah.
I want to give you some fresh examples of the pussification of modern video games and how this happened. You guys are probably tired of me talking about Red Dead 2 and Last of Us constantly, so I'm going to try to throw in some fresh examples. In this video, we're going to take a look at Spider-Man.
How Peter got cooked, the pussification of Rainbow Six, and more modern slop. Great.
Our fleet has arrived at a phase jump inhibitor and is now trapped.
Ubisoft and the downfall of Rainbow Six, and finally Immortals of Aveum, Army of Two, and a couple single-player games. Okay. But first, are you boys tired of laggy, choppy gameplay on your Clown Shoes iPad? It's time to man up and get a dedicated gaming tablet like the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet. This thing is stupid fast and has a Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU. Heating up won't be a problem anymore with its liquid metal 2.0 cooling system and industry-first dual-layer refrigeration. Its gorgeous 165 Hz screen gives you frame rates of up to 140 FPS, so you're guaranteed to smoke your competition.
Been waiting for this
the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet can handle intense gaming for 6 hours on a single battery charge. It has a 13-megapixel gorgeous rear camera and a 9-megapixel front camera. Whether you're playing Genshin Impact, Delta Force, COD Mobile, or whatever, Steam Link, Xbox Game Pass, PS Remote Play, all these are ready to go. You can play anything from anywhere on this bad boy. Finally, at $550, this thing is such a better deal than the iPad Pro 13 that's going to run you like $1,500. Click the links in the description to learn more about the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet. Alright, back to the video. One of the most egregious examples of the demasculinization of a man is 2023's Spider-Cuff 2 exclusively on the PS5. Spider-Man 2018 was much more of a 2000s game. Peter was the hero of his own story. This is why I bought a box that says Spider-Man on it. I want to play...
Is it true that in Spider-Man 2, one of the missions is running around as a deaf girl spray painting things on walls? Is that actually true?
Free cremation.
As a superhero. But oh, you bigoted white man. Insomniac Games is going to get you to pay $80 to watch your hero get cucked. And we all fell for it. This is why, by the way, I always say Sony is just as bad and just as woke as Xbox. Now look, just to be clear, I have no issue with Miles Morales as a character, and I have no issue with black characters in games. Final Fantasy VII, Gears, Walking Dead, all great games. What we take issue with is that Spider-Man 2 is supposed to be a story about Peter, I don't know, being a superhero. This is why I bought the game. Instead, we play a game in which MJ and Miles Morales are the heroes. They are constantly saving Peter.
I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to, in a Spider-Man game, have you play as MJ. Nobody wants to play as her. It's not about her. What is she gonna do? Bake cookies? The fuck is this? Nobody asked for this. It's stupid. Yeah, nobody wants this. Our planet is under siege.
We've lost contact with one of our planets.
And this is what I was saying before about how like developers put stuff like that in the game.
Ready to pack a punch.
That the players aren't asking for. Nobody wants that. Why would you even do it?
Because they are faster, smarter, stronger, and more competent than Peter throughout the entire game. In literally every boss battle in Spider-Man 2, Peter is either rescued by Miles or rescued by ugly-ass girl boss MJ. Peter is
that true?
Throughout Spider-Man 2 as childish, vengeful, and impotent. Miles, in every instance, is shown as more competent, more wise, more moral, and just a better person in general.
Jesus.
I can't let this go. I'm finally everything everyone needs me to be.
Yeah, you don't even answer my calls anymore, man.
You've made a wise acquisition.
Our fleet is under attack.
And what about MJ?
An allied capital ship has been destroyed.
Like bringing a gun to a knife fight.
One of our enemies has finished a Titan.
I know. But
this is what the woke activists at Insomniac believe, though. They fetishize black people and say that black people are inherently better and more moral than white people.
An allied capital ship has been destroyed. Shields down. An ally has lost a starbase. One of our enemies has finished a Titan.
I just had to check.
Like bringing a gun to a knife fight.
White people. It's the most anti-white propaganda you'll ever see in a game. Insomniac Studios hates white people. In their second big encounter with a boss, Peter is unable to beat Venom. Miles comes in and easily beats Venom's ass. Just for fun, I asked AI, why was the symbiote able to possess Peter and not Miles? The answer was hilarious. Because Peter was mentally weak and Miles is mentally strong.
Seems pretty simple.
You can't make this stuff up. Throughout the game, Peter Parker...
I think that the problem also is that these stories are always told through like this one-dimensional way. So like when every story creates a dichotomy like this where like one character is this way, the other character is the other way, and it's constantly the male character that's problematic or a white character that's problematic or a female or non-white character that's not, people start to see a pattern, and I think that after they see that pattern enough times, they end up not taking it seriously, and they end up the doctor's head.
Time to bring the thunder.
The fuck is she doing? Yeah. And so that's really what happens, is that you lose the trust of the... I think that this is really what's happened with these games, is that they've fundamentally lost the trust of the audience to tell an authentic story. That's fundamentally what the issue is. And so every time that you see a character that is from a certain identity or a certain gender or race or anything like that, every time you see one of those characters, you're not looking at it in an authentic way. You're looking at it in a way of like, okay, what are they trying to hide? It's bad writing? Yeah, basically, right?
Is shown as someone who needs to be saved, easily dominated by the symbiote, and driven by revenge. Also throughout the game, Miles is shown as perfect without any flaws, never motivated by revenge, and always the virtuous and moral good one. I get that a character with no flaws is boring, but why does Peter have all the flaws in his own game while Miles had none? But guys, this is what happens when you let satanic, homo, LGBTQ propagandists like the entire staff of Insomniac make a game. You get
Bro, this guy is on the warpath. Oh my god. I told you this video was gonna be good, right? I said, yeah.
Anti-white, anti-male
Scouts have found a colonizable planet. 2.
Oh, and if you think the
We'll
Wolverine
wipe down
game
an
isn't
enemy
going to
colony.
be ultra woke, you are coping
A new
hard.
colony has been founded.
So let's look at Spidey 1 now. While it would be a stretch to call Spider-Man 2018 based, I think it's true that Spidey 1 is a pro-male game, while Spidey 2 is very much an anti-white and anti-male game. In the 2018 game,
I
Mary
can't really speak a lot to Spider-Man. I didn't really play it, so that's why I was asking you guys. I don't really know a lot about this one.
Jane is more attractive. Peter actually saves MJ several times in the first game. You know, the way God intended it.
Has been lost.
Men saving women
An
because
allied
this is what we are
colony has
made to
been
do,
lost.
and we have bigger arms.
The thing is that
one of our enemies
it's like
has
it's
finished the
bad
Titan.
to say this,
Defense
but he's
upgrade
completely
complete.
right.
Our planet
Obviously,
is under
this
siege.
is true.
We've lost contact
Yep,
with one of our planets.
he's right.
You don't have to tell us twice.
MJ still plays a role in Spidey 1, but she's just a reporter.
And it's also part of the male power fantasy. Like, a lot of guys fantasize about, you know, saving people or, you know, like saving some damsel in distress. That's why movies like that are so popular, is that it plays
Our
into the
fleet
male
is under
power
attack.
fantasy.
Item complete, Commander.
She's working in her own way instead of being
It's
a
a
girl
female
boss
power-
and trying to use
It's a female power fantasy too.
Like bringing a gun to a knife
but
fight.
like for like a
You were
fraction
out big,
of the
you
people,
scurvy dog.
right? Like you're comparing
Scouts have
them
found
out
a
into
colonizable
molehill.
planet.
Like, yes, obviously there's some women that feel that way too, but in general, like I think that the lie that men and women's brains work the same and they look for the same things in media, I think is partially true, but generally not true. I think that there's definitely, and Japanese, you know, comics, I think that they've just defined this, and that's why literally you have shonens, excuse me, that literally means it's like a comic for young boys. And the reason why is because they know who their audience is, and they make it for that
We have
audience.
wiped out an enemy colony.
usurp Peter's male authority.
Mm-hmm.
Peter faces off and defeats Martin Lee, and then
We'll
later on his
see
own
it
friend,
done.
mentor, and role model, Dr. Octopus.
Mm-hmm.
In the game's final moments, the villains unleash Devil's Breath on the city, and Peter must decide whether to save the people of New York or save his own flesh and blood, Aunt May. In a moment of heroic sacrifice, Peter chooses to save the city over Aunt May, who is essentially like his own mother. Despite a couple of woke things in it, Spidey 2018 is an amazing game, and it's about
badass.
the heroic sacrifices we must make in order to become men.
Entering
Too bad they
phase
completely
space.
cucked Peter Parker and made him a mouthpiece for gay propaganda in 2023's Spider-Man 2. Moving on.
I haven't played the game, but I don't know if this is
You've
true
made
or
a
not.
wise
Holy
acquisition.
shit.
Does anybody remember the OG Rainbow Six games on PS2 and Xbox, and then later on
Easily
360 and
done.
PS3? Bro, these games were so badass. I'm a strong believer that all I need to do is listen to the menu music of a game, and it tells me everything about the game I need to know.
I'm thinking of Halo 1. Yeah. Maybe
We have
it's
wiped
true.
out
Also,
an
look at
enemy
these
colony.
covers, dude.
A new colony
Squad
has
Ace
been
Counter
founded.
Terror, my dude.
Aye.
This was the plot for Rainbow Six Lockdown. In 2009,
Ready to
Rainbow, led
pack
by
a
John
punch.
Clark, deploys the Alpha Team, commanded by
So
Ding
be it.
Chavez, to rescue the South African president
strength
from a
of the
rebel army surrounding
coalition.
Pretoria.
Got him.
Elsewhere in the city,
Our
the Global
planet is under
Liberation
siege.
Front, an
We've
anti-Western
lost contact
left-wing
with one of our
terrorist
planets.
organization led by
We'll see
Bastion
it
Vanderwall,
done.
steals
We
So,
have wiped
bro,
out
like
an
that's
enemy
actually
colony.
so.
Time to bring
Oh my
the
God.
thunder.
Nowadays it'd be the opposite. Love that game? Yeah, it's fucking great.
They're cruising for a bruising.
a nanite
So be it.
aerosol bioweapon that causes massive hemorrhaging and has a 100% fatality rate.
Game is dope.
Like,
Yeah, I haven't
dude,
seen
that
it.
sounds like a game I want
Dark
to
Souls
play.
3
And
music?
pretty much
Yeah.
all of the Rainbow Six games had plots kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 are the ones most people are familiar with. Terrorist Hunt was very fun, as
Sure.
was the multiplayer. These games weren't like Call of Duty at all. If you just rushed in and started firing, you and your whole team would
You're
die
done.
immediately.
Yeah.
You had to carefully breach doors.
Strategic.
You were able to set your guys up on multiple doors at once so you could attack targets from multiple angles at once, which would lead to much
There
fewer
were a
fates.
lot of games like that
Our
that were
fleet
like
is under
squad-based
attack.
tactical games.
We'll
but
see it
I
done.
feel like people just got retarded and they can't play those
Free
anymore.
You don't have to tell us twice.
So what happened to Rainbow Six?
Yeah, they just can't do it.
Gay-ass Six Siege happened. Rainbow Six Siege came out in 2015, and it's a gay game where you could blow off some steam with the girls at the end of a long day. So, like, 50% of the operators...
We'll see it done.
This is, bro, this is...
We'll see it done.
Give me a minute. I already use the bathroom.
Cremation.
He just says it. What can I say? Who would wear pink in a military shooter game? Yeah, I think that a lot of the like the outfits and everything, like, I think this kind of stuff should stay in Fortnite. It just breaks the immersion and it makes the game feel weird.
Like bringing a gun to a knife
out of the
fight.
probably 200 operators at Rainbow Six games from 1998 to 2008, do you know how many were women?
0.
Like 2 out of 200. And that's actually realistic. In real life, in the real world of PMCs, it's maybe like 1% women in combat roles. So
Obviously, and everybody knows this.
One of our enemies has...
I'll tell you, anytime that I see a military game and there's like an emphasis on like women being soldiers, I again just think it's going to be garbage. Sorry, I do. I think it's instantly going to be garbage.
What we saw with Six Siege and the fact Angela Bassett was their commander now is a pussification and a gayification and a homoification of the entire Rainbow Six series. But nobody cares, and you have brain-rotted Zoomers just eating this game up and still playing it because nobody gives a flip about realism or masculinity or authenticity
anymore. I think people do. They do care. It's just that people care about the gameplay too. Like, I mean, Fortnite is popular. That's not realistic at all. I mean, if the game has good gameplay, people will overlook woke elements of a game. Like, woke content can't make a good game bad, and it can't make a bad game good. But it can make a good game better, or it could make a bad game worse. That's the difference.
But it gets worse. So the original Six Siege had you fighting the white masks. All of the gameplay and multiplayer stuff you were doing was just to train for new terrorists.
Final Fantasy 16 had a pretty prominent gay character. It was pretty good, despite that. Concord, was very bad, and it was woke. You had Dragon Age the Veilguard. If Dragon Age Veilguard had no woke content, it would have still been garbage. Most of the games with woke content, if you took that out, they would still be garbage. It's not like that's what's making the game bad. Like Cyberpunk, yeah, exactly. Cyberpunk has all kinds of I would say kind of woke stuff, right? But it's nothing bad. Expedition 33, not really. Baldur's Gate 3, yeah. I mean, Tales of the Shire, look at that game. If they took out all the woke stuff of Tales of the Shire, well, you just have a loading screen. But I mean, I guess so you wouldn't be able to play the game. But theoretically, the entire game is bad, right? It's not like one thing about it is bad. The entire thing is bad.
Threats. The white masks were one of the threats. And fighting the white mask was a pretty fun PvE game mode that they later removed from the game. Okay, fine, pretty standard stuff. But in 2020 was when Six Siege really jumped the shark. According to the official lore of Six Siege, in 2020, Angela Bassett retires and puts this cringe millennial hipster dude named Harry, and he's brought in as the new leader of Rainbow Six. That's right, this dude who looks like a barista and has a podcast about his cats is now the leader of Rainbow Six.
The item is ready. Ready to pack a punch.
Oh my god. Why would they do that? It's so weird.
An allied capital ship has been destroyed.
Bro, I
You've got the
can't do
full
this.
weight of
So
a
again, you're not
starbase
going
at
to
your
believe this junk,
disposal.
but this is all part
A
of the
new
official
colony
lore
has
of
been
Six Siege
founded.
now.
Yeah.
In
Your
2020,
orders.
hipster millennial Harry has
Can
the
I do
brilliant
out?
idea to take Rainbow Six, give them all airsoft guns, and turn what they
Your
do
orders.
into a live competition event on
Why
stage.
can't you
We'll
just
see
go
it
invade
done.
South Africa again and
An
destroy
allied
a far
capital
left
ship has been
communist
destroyed.
What is this?
Shields down.
Yeah,
You've got
why
the
can't you
full
just
weight
go
of a
over
starbase
to
at your
Serbia
disposal.
and stop a insurgency that's trying to bring back the Soviet Union and, you know, traffic bombs to Iran, nuclear bombs to Iran. What the hell? What's this cartoon shit? It's weird.
With a bunch of cheering fans.
Our cannon
so I'm sure huge Siege fans are like, duh, and they just happened a while ago. But look, I don't really follow this game or the story anymore, and so just recently found this out. I just think it's hilarious that this game is full of gay operators and girl bosses, and you aren't even fighting terrorism anymore, and you guys keep playing.
See, I'll tell you why. The reason why is because they don't want to do fighting terrorism because it's political now. That's the reason why, and everybody knows it. That's why they're not doing it. And when I know that, this is one thing I've noticed with like video games, this is my opinion, is that when I know a video game is only telling a story in a certain way, because it's worried about having that thing go ahead and, like, for example, like try to, you know, it's going to change things, or it's going to like make people react in a negative way. That's whenever I know for sure that it's probably just going to be garbage. Like, the integrity of the story at that point is now kind of gone.
A slop. Can Rainbow Six get any worse? Of course it can. Osa was added in 2021 as the game's first man to put on a dress. In 2023, Tubaro was added as the first woman in the game to pretend to be a man. Guys, if you're still playing Rainbow Six Siege, it's time to call your dad on the phone and tell him that his son is gay now. I'm sorry. Rainbow Six is full of girl bosses.
I don't think, like, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think it's really a big deal, right? I don't care about this kind of stuff a whole lot, but I do think it's true that the majority of the implementation of it isn't necessarily for the average person that's playing the game. It's for appeasing like journalists, or for making the development team happy or something like that. And I think that when you have that's fine. You can decide whatever you want personally, right? Like, I will play a video game if it plays well, and I will not play a video game if it doesn't play well. It's literally that simple to me. However, the aesthetic of a game does matter. And this is absolutely not something that's being made for your traditional male audience for Rainbow Six.
Like bringing a gun to a knife fight.
I mean, if you go, I bet if you looked at Rainbow Six YouTube videos and you looked at the back-end analytics for those,
you've made a wise
you'd be looking at an over
acquisition.
90% ratio of men that are watching them. Probably higher than that.
Fully black girl. It's fully gay and woke as a brand now. Just go play Squad and Insurgency and Ready or Not if you want a real game. On the topic of Tom Clancy, I was chuckling recently at this terrible dialogue in the Division 2 that shows this cucked man. Watch this.
Don't be such a baby. It hurts. Yeah, well, maybe she should have punched a wall.
Or a wall that's in its face.
She deserves it. You're fine. It's not broken.
Or is every guy a cook and every woman? See, this
like
is, I've
bringing
noticed
a
this a
gun
lot
to
too.
a knife fight.
I think this is something I noticed in Warcraft recently. Is that, like, they very commonly, like, portray men as, like, flawed characters, and they don't portray women as flawed characters even nearly as much. And oftentimes men are portrayed as